There we go. It looks like we have gone live on YouTube. So, hello to everyone that is watching at your convenience. You're not catching us live. You're catching the replay, if you will, or the rebroadcast, or the on demand version. So, hey, thank you regardless. Always appreciate everybody that does click on. And if you're watching live, do not hesitate to hop in to the chat. Going to be kind of a quick episode, rather short episode. Got a couple of major topics, obviously, that we're going to be discussing. Juneteenth being the first, as today is the official U.S. holiday of Juneteenth. Juneteenth is more of a time period than an actual date. Um, but to learn more about that, let's listen in to the beginning here. Let's begin with this brief video on why it's important to celebrate and recognize Juneteenth today, June 19th.
The story of Juneteenth starts on June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Act ended slavery in Confederate states. Major General Gordon Granger and Union soldiers delivered the news that slavery had ended to 250,000 people who were still enslaved in Texas. Black Americans celebrated. Freedom brought huge progress in the years after the war. Literacy rates jumped 70% in the subsequent 40 years, and 22 Black Americans were elected to federal government. But when Reconstruction ended in 1877, attempts to build communities were met with violent attempts to restore the power imbalance of the pre-civil rights years. Throughout the 1900s, Juneteenth celebrations continued, highlighting advancements within the family and community and honoring ancestors. In 2016, Opal Lee, an activist in Fort Worth, Texas, set out to make Juneteenth an official holiday by walking from her home in Texas to Washington, D.C. She reached Washington by walking 2.5 miles a day, representing the number of years it took for news of emancipation to reach Texas. In 2021, Lee's campaign was successful. President Biden signed legislation making Juneteenth a federal holiday. Today, Juneteenth is an opportunity to celebrate Black Americans' contribution to American culture and honor the continuing quest for freedom, justice, and equality.
Exactly. On and as far as okay, white people, it's a day for us to remember that uh, the words in the Constitution, the words in the Declaration of Independence, the concept of basic fundamentals of our country, in that everyone should have the opportunity to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness among the rights guaranteed. And it hasn't always been that way. And there are those that want to take us in a totally different direction than equality and the idea of freedom. So, tenuous times, and a happy Juneteenth to all. All right. The second part of the headline tonight is that Israel is going to be attacking Lebanon. I'm going to get to that here in just a moment. This is footage from today. The Houthis out of Yemen attacked a cargo ship in the Red Sea with two water-based drones. One of them hitting basically right under the wheelhouse, and then the other striking mid-ship. As you can see, it's believed this ship has sunk, and this is indeed an escalation, and many more events like this, and we're going to start seeing kinks in the supply chain. So just be prepared for that possibility. Hold on a second. I'm going way too fast. I'm not sure why that did that, but where was I? Here we go. Okay. Apologies for that. I'm producing this, obviously, as well as trying to host. And Not good at either one. All right. According to whistleblower Phil Snyder, there are DUMBs, deep underground military bases. Each one of these bases costs around 17 to
Oh, it used to
19
be, it'd take a
million
year to
dollars.
2 years to build each one, and now they're capable of building a couple of them a year with sophisticated methods. My colleague, Al Felix, has actually been on some of the high-speed railways, the magneto-leviton trains that connect all the deep underground military bases within the United States. He's been on a Mach 2 train and floats off a single rail at a 3/4 of an inch off the rail, and is what we call high tech. We have nothing like this on the surface. Groom Lake is where the infamous Area 51, S4, S2, the CIA base. It was originally a bombing range, a nuclear test site. It was later become the most secret base in the United States. It employs over 18,000 workers who work in shifts at 12 hours at a whack. Most of them work in the cover of darkness, like us. We built out 9 underground military bases there, each with an average capacity capable of basically a city underground, roughly 4.25 cubic miles hollowed out underground.
Okay, basically, he's saying that there are 9 underground bases under the Groom Lake complex or Area 51, 9 bases under there alone. And all of these bases, allegedly, all across the country, are connected with rapid high-speed underground rail. He said none of these things are available on the surface. And my question is why? Let's listen to a little more.
They have boring machines, for instance. They don't bore, they literally vitrify and melt the rock, deflagrate the rock. It's a very sophisticated laser melting and deflagrating system. Reduce the rock to a powder and then melts the remaining rock as a coating on the inside of the base, so you don't have to use gunite, cements, and other kinds of things like that. That's all old hat now. Technology is just basically the new technology we get is the old hat of the military. Anyway, after we drilled all 4 holes, it about 2 days to drill all 4 of them. And when you build an underground base, you drill 4 basic holes, and then you build, call stopes or cross-member holes across, and you use blasting equipment, special blasting equipment by the analyzation of the rock formation, and you literally blast out or tunnel out or deflagrate or melt rock out.
So all of this is what you would call conspiracy theory. But allegedly there are well over 140 bases in the United States alone, including 9 under the vast Groom Lake complex. If you wonder sometimes how the budget gets to be where it's at, could a lot of that money be being spent on things that we are not even have a clue about? Speaking about not having a clue, here we've got Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. He is hosting Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia. They have allegedly signed an agreement of cooperation between the two countries that they will assist each other, especially in the need or necessity of war. But just I found this fascinating, the way that that Putin is it seems like he's just bored to tears, just sitting there playing with the thing as Kim Jong-un looks on at him like, what are you doing? The other North Koreans, and what is happening. I'm not going to play a lot of it, but just so you hear, there's a piece of music being performed by a person inside. So that's what's going on. And Putin is obviously not very respectful of it. It'll be interesting to see if this little incident somehow might carry up into something bigger. Okay, this was Al Sharpton, Reverend Al. I've met Reverend Al, and I there are here's what Reverend Al said. He says, quote, "As you know, Joe, I knew Donald Trump for 35 years. I fought with him, went to meet with him, and tried to get him to do things. I've never seen a black employee in Donald Trump's office. Not one. I used to say going up Trump Towers is like going up the Rocky Mountains. The higher you get, the whiter it got. You didn't see one black employee at his trial. So he did that for blacks. He didn't do it as a private citizen, as Steve Reitner's Chacho. He didn't do it as the president. So sounds like Al Sharpton's calling Trump out a little bit. I don't know. That's up for you to decide. All right, here we go. The leader of Hezbollah came out with a speech this afternoon. Shortly thereafter, one of my sources, I got information from one of my sources. That information is basically Israel will be attacking Lebanon. It could be within hours, it could be within days, it could be within a week or two, but it is coming because Israel has to launch a preemptive strike. Okay, that's what I was told. That's what I'm telling you all. Here's what Hezbollah's leader said Iran has contacted them, Hezbollah, to send thousands of fighters. And the leader said, we already have more than 100,000 fighters and so many more that we've lost count. So Hezbollah drones are out. They're screenshotting all the sensitive Israeli positions, chemical and oil storages, and the entire port of Haifa. While the Iron Dome is clueless, Hezbollah will destroy the port if Israel attacks Lebanon. So, again, Hezbollah has released all of this footage showing that, indeed, they have mapped out basically a vast majority of Israel, and specifically in detail a large section of the northern part of Israel. Israel has to know that fighting Hamas and fighting Hezbollah are going to be two incredibly different things. Chris and I have talked about this quite often. Hopefully Chris will be on with us Friday again at 9 for a World Sit Rep. And Chris and I have talked about this quite often. Fighting Hamas and fighting Hezbollah will be incredibly different. Hezbollah is much better equipped with much more advanced weaponry, as we will be seeing soon. And for Israel to get in front of this, they will have to do a preemptive attack onto Lebanon, in my opinion, and in the opinion of my source, who said that this is indeed coming, and that I'm right, that they are going to have to do a preemptive strike. So, not good. A little bit of potential good news is, at the moment, at least, it appears that with Europe and the United States escalating more involvement in Ukraine against Russia, China has decided not to make it an immediate priority to try to annex Taiwan at this time. We'll see how that plays out. Remember, we were told that within the first 2 weeks of June, there would be a land invasion by China of Taiwan. That did not happen. It has not happened. There are no signs that is happening as of right now. So that's kind of where that's at. a lot of serious stuff. Let's end with something a little bit amusing. Just 15 seconds worth of 15-second clip here. This is Susan Kaplan, and Susan Kaplan is the lady that Alexa, the AI voice Alexa, it is based off of Susan Kaplan. And here's what happens when she tries to talk to Alexa.
Alexa, play my favorite playlist.
You sound familiar. Who is this?
I'm Alexa.
No, I'm Alexa.
I said it
I
first.
said it first.
Alexa, play my favorite playlist.
You sound familiar. Who is this?
I'm Alexa.
No, I'm Alexa.
I said it
I
first.
said it first.
All right. So again, just a little bit of humor there to end things. Again, keeping it short on this Wednesday night, Juneteenth. Wishing everyone a happy Juneteenth, and let us try to use the spirit and concept of Juneteenth to advance our nation together instead of looking to find reasons to divide. Too much division going on in the nation, and we should be doing more to try to put things together, in my opinion, anyway. So, thank you to Fred. Thank you to Not Going Away. Thank you to everybody watching live. Thank you to those watching here at your convenience. Again, today is Juneteenth, and sources have told me that Israel will be doing a preemptive attack against Lebanon. It will be obviously a surprise attack. They're not going to announce when it's going to happen. My personal speculation is it will probably be Friday because it is the Muslim holy day, so 2 days away from now. But we will see. Again, thank you for clicking on. I may be back tomorrow night. I don't know. If not, I will be on Friday night, 9 p.m. with Chris for a world situation report, and I hope you'll join us then. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe, like, and if you want to leave a comment, if you're watching at your convenience, I do appreciate that. Leave a comment below. You can help support the show, $ American Doofus, all one word, at the Cash App, or you can email me, americandoofus@gmail.com. So until next time, I love you all like chocolate chip cookies. It is a dark world. Try to be a light. Thank you very much for watching. Be blessed, and we'll see you next time.